Welcome back, y'all. This is the Elusive Podcast. I am Nathan Dante. Happy New Year, new shit, new, new revelations, everything new. So it's only fitting that I start with this lucid dream that's been in my head all morning. So I figured. Because, Brandy Vocals is just always top tier, and this record itself, the message and the meaning behind it, definitely, I don't know how I feel about 2022. Oof, 2020. It feels like we're still in 2020. But just woke up today with like the revelation that, tired. Aren't we all tired of this nonsense and this shitty world and the shitty shit that's going on? Because it's real ghetto out here, and I don't know. Everything's just it's just not looking too great. And I'm usually an optimistic person. I always think about the next step and the next move and how everything will eventually work itself out. But it's just been feeling like, what is the point? What is the purpose of these times we are in? Just once you get over one hurdle, here's some more hurdles to jump over, and it's just, I don't know, it's real shitty. Even with the panorama, every day there's a new variant, and for me it just seems like we just naming variants to have them trending, and just for all purposes of being trendy, let's name it Omicron. I was gonna say Omarion. And then everyone's joking how Omicron is close to Omarion, and then you get all the Omarion memes, and this panorama becomes trendy and viral because we're making jokes about Omarion. And now today they said there's some other variant, and then someone had a hybrid of the flu and the panorama. So we're announcing a new variant, Flurona, and then you start seeing memes, and it's just like, are we just naming the memes and making up things so it can trend and people can joke and laugh about it and it's on the timeline? Because at this point it just seems like it's for clickbait and memes and to be trendy. So I was just on the phone with a friend, and I was just talking about Flurona, and now uh the combination of the flu and COVID, have we gotten to a point where it's like, are we trying to encourage people to get both the flu shot and the vaccine, the COVID vaccine? That's not the way I wanted to start this pod. But welcome back, episode 16. Episode 16. I did start. Well, I did record episode 16 before the new year, and ended up doing some New Year's festivities where the episode was not as long as I wanted it to be, and I didn't edit it. So I felt like, figure out the set for the new year and restart fresh, instead of just pulling from last year. That episode, I did wanted to dive into the ending of Insecure, my favorites of the year. I did dive into that in that episode, but I guess with the new set, the new year, the new look, the new cams, I guess we can, start fresh with that. So I'm wearing my, I'm rooting for everybody black hashtag Issa Rae, because that's an Issa Rae quote, and that's what I was getting into in the last recording where I was discussing Insecure ending. Not even diving into spoiling the ending itself, but just discussing, the cultural movement that Insecure is and the impact that it had on the culture. So that's the same thing. But yeah, I basically wanted to touch on the documentary where Issa touched on how building the show Insecure helped her to put on other creatives, basically. So if you haven't, check out the Insecure finale or Insecure itself, because I see a lot of people that like to tweet that they've never seen an episode of Insecure, and it's just like, we got to have a group of people who want to be different than everyone else who is supporting and watching the show Insecure. So for the people who loves to be on the trend that they've never seen an episode, please watch Insecure, and please watch the ending documentary that like went behind the scenes of the making of season 5. But it was just interesting to see all of the behind the scenes people, the writers, the people who went on to direct, produce, become showrunners, and do all of these other things in other creative spaces because of having the chance to work on Insecure. And the environment that Insecure brought out is something that I aspire to creating with Elusive as a brand, and what I would love to see from other brands as well. So um I don't know if I want to dive back into it, but yeah, Insecure finale. We touched on, the ending documentary and how Issa's impact with the show managed to help other creatives find their voice and be able to, you know, jump into stuff that they wanted to do, that they've been dreaming of doing, and they were allowed to do, having, been on set to work on Insecure. And I seen a tweet mentioning the accomplishments of Tyler Perry Studios and mentioning how much money is coming in and how much money went into building Tyler Perry Studios. And it just made me, get into the mind frame of, while that is a great achievement for Tyler Perry, I would love to hear the story of, similar environment where a lot of black creatives and people of color are able to create and build at Tyler Perry Studios, and not just Tyler Perry, building the studio and now all the big branded companies, production companies are coming to shoot at Tyler Perry Studios. And it's just like, that's cool, but are creatives getting a chance to, build and produce projects with Tyler Perry? and using Tyler Perry Studios. That's what I want to hear, because again, it was very inspiring to see the impact of Insecure, the set, and all the people who was on set working as writers, producers, makeup artists, designers, wardrobe stylists, all of these people who came together to create Insecure. I would love to hear that in the same way when it comes to Tyler Perry Studios. Because as of now, it just seems like, um, I don't want to misquote, but I remember a quote somewhere along the lines where, Tyler Perry had mentioned building your own table. So when you build your own table, people come to sit at your table instead of trying to get a seat at the table. So yeah, it's like you built a table for specific people to come sit at, and it's just like cool. You've accomplished something exceptional, but at what cost does that help anyone but yourself? And again, it's your brand, it's your company. You do with it as you see fit. But for up and coming creative like myself, it would be nice to see opportunities created with such a great studio built. But maybe I'm out of the loop and I don't know. And I just don't know how to get my way into, pitching projects and becoming a writer in someone's writing room. But I don't know. There was word that the writing room will start to open up on Tyler Perry's productions, so we'll see how that goes. Not to rant and rave about it, but yeah, I would love to hear and see more about what opportunities will be gained for up and coming creatives when it comes to Tyler Perry Studios. Because as I've moved here to Atlanta, the funny, annoying thing that I get asked is, "Do I work for Tyler Perry yet?" And it's I don't know how to you go on Tyler Perry Studios website and try to find jobs at Tyler Perry Studios, and you most likely all you're going to find is like facilities staff and work for facilities jobs. So I don't know. Maybe it's a separate thing that that they just not letting everyone know the details too. But I don't know. I don't know. But yes, aside from that, rant, talk, conversation, I do wish that more opportunities open up with that studio, and that creatives such as myself can build and not have to because it's hard out here for us to be trying to, again, elusive as a brand, started as a magazine, uh, to build the brand on your own, and you really need people who share your vision, number one. And it's hard to get a lot of creatives on the same page when we're all striving to get to the same place, and then it feels very competitive. So if more opportunities are allowed to us, maybe it'll be different. But it feels like we're all in this competitive space where everyone wants to work for themselves, and it's just like we can all be a collective of creatives that again, people can come to us for their needs, and that is the goal for elusive as a brand. To be a collective of creatives that can provide creative services to brands. And when you see a lot of these people make it, I don't want to dive. I guess I got to dive into it because that's how we start in 2022. You see a lot of people who make it and they become the gatekeepers to, getting to that same level. And this applies to many scenarios for me. So, again, you get people who make it, and again, they don't want to see you reach the level that they are on or reach higher than they have gotten. So they won't and tell you with all of the details of what you need to continue doing what you're doing. So, you know, it just sucks because I would love a space that mirrors what it looked like on the set of Insecure. So, where everyone is, showing up, creating great work, and then they're able to step away from creating a great project such as Insecure to do other projects outside of Insecure because they were on the set of Insecure. So it's just like, can we get to that point? Can we get to that moment where we don't have people who get to a certain level? I see this in corporate as well. Managers, directors, they get to a certain level, a certain status, and they will prevent you from excelling because they don't want you to outdo them or reach a level that they're not able to reach. And I guess I can give an example of this because in the past I've done creative projects through my brand for other brands. And one project in particular was at a specific moment. So it lasted maybe 2-3 months. And knowing that the company itself is doing similar projects with other groups, I would have seen it as, I did such an excellent job for this project, and the other projects within the company looked up to that project as something so great that they loved it. They enjoyed it. They wanted to see more of it. But it's like if the project that I'm working on ended, and these other projects are happening after, it would have just felt like to me you would connect me to these other projects so I could continue doing what I'm doing for you guys instead of, oh, I'm doing such great work. I don't want any other group to have anything that mirrors this because this is on another level. Let me keep you to myself. And then stunt my growth basically because now I could have been doing multiple things and still doing the same level of work for you. But I just feel like, people get into a position where they want to keep you because you do such great stuff for them. And it's that if they let you excel or go to any other place, then you won't have time to come back and do for them, or you'll grow so much that now you're unobtainable. So we don't want that. So we're going to keep you to ourselves so we can always have access to you. And that's what I mean by the gatekeeping. It's just like I'm seeing that on every level. And that's how it is for us creatives. And whew, It's stressing, it's depressing, it's sad, because again, we're all striving and dreaming for achieving some goal that if we came together as a collective, we'll have it all. And it's just, there are people in the positions that can gather a collective and build the platforms that, I'm trying to build a platform. You have the means to help me produce and create this platform, but it's more important to have, Hollywood coming to Atlanta to shoot their big budget projects to shoot their big budget to shoot their big why can't I speak to shoot their big budget projects at your studios, because they're going to be paying the most money instead of building your own core and producing the same level. Like you can it's just a lot. And I don't want to go on a rant, and I don't want to start the new year off negatively, but I just hope that at some point I can build my collective and bring it somewhere or become something that helps creatives get their start, go and go on and to do other things outside of just being a part of Elusive. So in 2022, I'm excited to get back to my roots of I want to say I don't want to do another magazine. I have ideas about what I want Elusive the magazine to be, and I have an idea of what I want to do this year. So I don't know if it's gonna still be a magazine, but I do hope that the photography grows into the film, which is the idea of what Elusive started as and was building towards becoming more film and photo story based. And I look forward to, starting on that path. So we'll see. 2022, that is the goal. The other goal is to, open a store, location, restaurant, lounge, bar, something along those lines. But that's what we're reaching for. Aside from that, because you got to remind people, and a lot of people, we touch on diversity and inclusion, and they forget that what that means. So looking at you, here's some more diversity and inclusion. You can get this merch and more on the website elsv.net. I just started adding some stuff to the shop, so feel free to go on there and support a black business. If you haven't supported a black business today, go on over to elsv.net/shop, and you will see my merch, because I'm out here making merch and designing stuff. If you're a company that wants merch made, you can also reach out to me, because I can do that as well. And all the details to what ELSV can do as a brand and for other brands is listed on the website, but I will showcase it here. But yeah, it's all about diversity and inclusion these days, but I would love to see things look a lot more diverse. and then they do. But shall we get into some music? When I recorded the pod last year, uh, last week, I did want to touch on my favorite artists, favorite songs, favorite albums of 2021. And while I was recording, Apple was doing what it does best, and preventing me from seeing my breakdown. I should have, the goal was to, I gotta stop saying, and you know, working on that for 2022. Apple does what it does, and if you try to open replay on your iPhone, it's gonna open Apple Music. And what I was trying to get Safari to do was list all of my stuff within the web browser instead of opening Apple Music and just playing the playlist. But it wouldn't work for me. So now I have it pulled up, and I hope this is a little bit more accurate. That feels a little bit biased, but Alicia Keys is my top artist of 2021, and that's because Keys just dropped. So I don't think these numbers really reflect my favorite and best of 2021 because I don't play a lot of music like I normally would. Because again, I'm in the house, so it's like a lot of things going on where it's just I'm not playing music every day and every hour like the good old days where you play music on your train ride to work, you play music at work, and you play music at the gym, and then you play music on your train ride home. God, I miss that. It feels like it's been so long since I've been in that routine. It's just you get up and start work from home, and then maybe watch TV, maybe play the game, maybe play music on just Friday and Saturday because it's the weekend. That's basically what it's been like for me. So I don't know if this is an accurate, description. Keys came out last month. It's been on repeat since. That's all I've been listening to. So, of course, the amount of hours of music having listened to a double album on repeat catapulted Alicia Keys to the top spot. When I initially did my Apple Music replay, Dawn Richard was number one, but Alicia has taken over that spot. So Keys again, solid project from Alicia Keys. Some of her best work, but I don't know. People said her best work since "The Element of Freedom." I guess that can be true, but like I listened to all of Alicia Keys' albums, so it's not like I did listen to Alicia last year, so that was a solid project. People slept on it, so to say it's her best work since Element of Freedom, for me, it's her best work since last year because last year Alicia was a great album. Love Looks Better is one of my favorite records off of that. Again, I don't really replay music as much as I used to, but Keys did get replay value. So of course it's in the top spot. Elijah Blake's The Neon Eon, great project from Elijah Blake, long overdue. Uh, Came in second because of course it was on repeat. I was putting a lot of people on to Elijah Blake's album. If they missed it and missed out, I did my part. So because gotta look out for these underrated artists, and plus male R&B as a whole, there's a debate as to whether male R&B has gotten underrated, and I'm gonna talk about that after I get through this. But yep, that was my second favorite album according to Apple Music. Feel the Love, Carousel, Angles, and the record with Tamar. Solid album. I just want to see more singles, Mister Elijah Blake, because the whole album as a whole, needs visual work to it. So hopefully we'll see more visuals, more singles dropped from the project, and not just the one Dreams. Third album on the list of my Apple Music replay is Blueprint EP. That's very high up on the list when I only listened to two of the six songs. Bird's Eye View, Skeletons. I do like talking. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but yeah, though Bird's Eye View is definitely on repeat, so that definitely is probably why it's number three. Number four, New Light by Eric Bellinger, and I think I've said this before, but every album and project that Eric Bellinger puts out is very consistent, and I don't know how or why Eric Bellinger is so underrated because every album that he has put out, it always ends up on repeat for me, and it always ends up in my top 10 or whatever count we're going for. But yeah, New Light, Eric Bellinger came out. He did an acoustic version that had like four or five songs on it, which I have yet to listen to yet because it just dropped. But Eric Bellinger always had a solid project. So if you haven't checked out Eric Bellinger's album, go check that out. Number five, Certified Lover Boy, Drake. Um, I have what's the words? Unpopular opinion on Drake, but surprised that it's number five and surprised that it's in my top 10. I did like Certified Lover Boy. It's probably the first project from Drake that I've listened to since I want to say Views. I don't think I've listened to Scorpion as a whole. Uh, but yeah, maybe I'll run those back. I did listen to the EP, well, the three songs that dropped before the Certified Lover Boy dropped, which probably got me excited for Certified Lover Boy, and then all the hype about what type of album this was going to be, and then what it ended up being. My review on the album as a whole, I did take about less than half of the project from the list of songs, and those are the songs that I like listen to. So I could have done without half of the project. So unpopular opinion. Surprised it's up here as top five. Number six. I guess that'll be my honorable mention. Try not to think about it. JoJo, and I love me some JoJo, and ever since finally getting out of that terrible deal, she's been putting out solid projects and solid singles. So try not to think about it as another great album from her. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But yeah, I guess that's the top five. And my honorable mention, which was number six, is JoJo. And then we got some other projects in my Apple Music replay from old albums because I don't know how they decide on what shows up. I thought they pulled albums from 2021, but I have some stuff here that's from 2016 and older, so we're not going to mention those. Single wise, yeah, Bird's Eye View, Euphoric, Bird's Eye View, Blueprint, Euphoric, Eric Bellinger, OnlyFans, also Eric Bellinger, Skeletons, Blueprint, The Worst, I assume, JoJo, the Alicia Keys first single, Lala. We got some singles, Red Lights, that's Rini. Uh, I'm Not Okay, but I know I'm going to be Raleigh Richard. Every time Raleigh Richard drops a single, is in my top 10. I Hate You, Scissor Record. Tell It, Seventh Streeter. Surprise Seventh Streeter's album is not up here because that was one of my favorite R&B albums that dropped. Totally underrated. While we gave all the praise and all the attention to Summer Walker, I hope Seventh Streeter's project didn't get slept on. But you know that's how R&B tends to be. If you're not Beyonce's, Rihanna's, if you're not Adele, Bruno Mars, what can you do? What can you do? And again, that brings me to my topic of how male R&B has been totally underrated and underwhelming. And it's funny and interesting because as a whole, hip hop is very male dominated, and it's hard for the female rappers to get the same attention as the male hip hop rappers. So when there are multiple female rappers, they are pitted against each other. So it's hilarious that on the R&B side, more R&B artists are able to, more female R&B artists are able to capitalize and be in their own lanes and still be great most of the time. You have the Scissors, the Summer Walkers, Victoria Monet's, Jasmine Sullivan's, her. You got them all in their own lanes, and they're able to do great R&B music without being pitted against each other. Now, as far as male R&B, it's like kind of quiet. Eric Bellinger. A lot of people are sleeping on Elijah Blake. The debate on who's king of R&B came and went, and then no R&B male artist made any type of noise. Usher. Everyone crowned Usher. Chris Brown. I haven't heard much of Usher except from the fact that he's on a Las Vegas residency currently. That's all I've heard. As far as new music, there was the one single. That was it for me. There was word that it was going to be a Confessions follow up or a Confessions Part 2. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know what's happening with Usher as far as a new album, but it's very quiet. Chris Brown did announce that he had new music coming, which I'm excited to hear. And another unpopular opinion is that Chris Brown has been making the same type of music, and I'm hoping that with this project we finally see some growth or some other style from Chris. Then again, he did drop two 45 plus track albums, which oversaturated, music. So I still haven't gotten through Heartbreak of on a full moon because there's so many songs. And then Indigo, I believe there's another EP that was added on to Heartbreak on a full moon. And then Indigo. So you got 60 tracks of Heartbreak on a full moon. Then you got Indigo. Then you got the EP or mixtape with Young Thug. I believe there was something with Tiger. Like it's so much Chris Brown, and like I can't even sort them out to say, but it just sounds like you know trying to fit into where the sound is moving instead of pushing the boundaries of what the sound is, which is what I'm hoping this next Chris Brown album does. And if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna have, and please don't have 45 tracks because ain't nobody got time for that. Mario dropped the single with Chris Brown, and as I said, I could have done without Chris Brown on the record, but it is a nice little addition to it. And again, Mario is also an artist that is slept on. And when the conversation comes around as to the best male R&B artist, Mario is kind of left out of that list. And again, I'm a person that I'm an R&B head, so I've listened to all of the Mario songs that released unofficially after his DNA album up until his last project, and very consistent. So it's like there wasn't any record that I didn't like. Mario has yet to drop a record that I don't like. So again, when we're talking about these King of R&B, conversations, can't leave Mario out of the situation. Amarion also, we're joking in that he is the new variant of COVID, but Amarion also puts out solid music, which is also people sleeping on the music. Again, we're waiting on Miguel. I'm waiting on Miguel. So there are a lot of great male R&B artists, and it's just like, where are they? Waiting on a project from Miguel. Hopefully, Usher is dropping something new. Don't know what happened to Trey Songs, but legal issues or whatever he's dealing with now. So he's probably canceled. Um, a new project from The Dream would be nice, or maybe I missed one and I still have to finish listening to it. Chris Brown, of course. Ray J. uh, I'm biased because of yeah, Ray J and Brandy, but where's Radiation 2? I know Ray J is doing all his like investments and building brands and stuff, but there is a sound that Ray J can create that mirrors the sound that Brandy creates. And how do I say this? There's a clip where they were recording Edible High, which ended up being used for a visual fashion film for one of Brandy's photo shoots. And of course, it sounds more like a Ray J song featuring Brandy, but it's used on one of Brandy's photo shoots. But it sounds unfinished, and I would say like that is the sound. That is the sound that I wish Ray J did a complete album that sounded like that. And I don't know what direction or if there will be any more Ray J music, but it would be great to hear elements of I don't. It's a Brandy thing, but Ray J does it so well that it would be great to hear it in some capacity. Um, Genuine disappeared. Neo, Neo might have dropped a project that I've added to my Apple Music, and I haven't listened to it yet. So I'm not going to comment on Neo, but I feel like Neo is consistent. Um, August. After the entanglements. Do we care about music? The male R&B groups have all disappeared, except New Edition, because New Edition just lives forever. And they break up, they get back together. We get parts of the group, some of the group, solo acts, and then they manage to work it out and come back together. So, word on the street is that there is a New Edition tour coming, and I'm excited for that. Um, I'm trying to go down this list, and yeah, the Dream and Miguel is probably at the top of the list for me as it's releasing new music, and it would also be great if Frank Ocean, popped out of hiding because he just dropped the project and disappeared, and then we never heard from him again. I'm not gonna mention Tyrese because but yeah, R&B is very underrated and very underwhelming right now, and there's a wide open lane for male R&B. Back on the groups, the topic of groups. Uh, I feel like Day 26 had it, and Diddy dropped the ball first off. Then they broke up, or they kicked Q out the group, and they went on as four of them, and then you came back, and then Brian left. I don't know what happened. They never, or I'm just out of the loop on what happened with Day 26. But I believe there is just the four of them again, without Brian this time. And it's just like same thing with Danity Kane. It's just like if y'all get it together, like the lane is wide open for male R&B and female R&B groups, and no one is taking the spot. Just gotta shake my head. Yeah, Day 26 had the lane, and I don't know what's happening with that, but I would love to see BET presents the encore with them bringing male R&B group members to a house to record music. And I think I said this before, but it could be interesting, but I think the issue is everyone has an ego, and they'll probably just have a TV show full of fights and arguments and no music, as with the last season where everyone came and then everyone left, and then it came back down to Cherish, the two girls from Cherish, and Shamari and Keely. But I would love to see BET produce another season if they want to do other girl group members or do a male R&B version of it. But we'll see what happens with that. I gotta update my new shit playlist, but my new favorite, my well, it's still my favorite record right now. It's still Alicia Keys' "Only You," and I already explained why in the last episode. And "Feel the Love," Elijah Blake. I don't know how that ended up in my top songs, but "Feel the Love," definitely one of my favorites. Alina Perez, I'm surprised didn't end up in my top. replay because Sunbeam and Moongate have both been in rotation since they dropped. This is why I have a playlist full of all of the songs that just came out, and order them myself so I know like what I'm missing. Big Sean and Hit Boy, that project has been in rotation, so surprised that didn't pop up. I said the Seventh Street a record. Um, Drake, yeah. J. Cole, the off season. That's definitely should have been in the top 10, but I feel like since it came out earlier in the year, you know, that's what's unfair about, countdowns and lists that you dropped in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, people may forget about the project. King's Disease 2, Nas, that's also a project that should have been in that, top 10. Definitely a great follow up to King's Disease, and definitely Nas is one of my favorite rappers. So Nas is my favorite rapper. So King's Disease should have been in that list. Brunch on Sunday should have been in that list. No Phony Love should have been in that list. The Lauryn Hill record should have been in that list. And he also dropped a new album, which I have to listen to. I've added it, and I'm just like waiting to get into a zone to hear it. Um, a few of the records from the soundtrack to the show Queens, uh, they did drop some fire from the show. So those should have been in as well. Honorable mentions to my, songs of the year. Uh, Shit. Hey Siri. Never mind. Guess that's the only way I can stop the alarm. It's gonna start again, I'm sure. Her, Back of My Mind. That was a great project. Guess because it dropped at the beginning of the year. It kind of phases out by the end. Tone Smith, another artist that dropped great music. Yeah. I got some Giveon still in here. Ro James, one of my favorite albums from last year, still in rotation because Mantic was a fire project, if not album of the year for me. Um, so yeah, I think that's all of the records worth mentioning. And so that's my music take. I did want to start on some segments, but I feel like I'm gonna save those for the next episode. So stay tuned for all of the exciting stuff that I have planned for this podcast. I do want to say this is probably I should call it season 2. So we'll see. We'll see when I upload it if it's season 2. But this is episode 16. I made it. I'm still doing it. Even though there are times where I'm like, but we push through and we keep going because if you continue to show consistency and continue to do what you got to do, it'll all work itself out in the long run. So I will continue the content creation of this pod. And dang, I can't even switch to the other camera now because it's off. The angle is off. So yeah, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Elusive Pod. I'm your host, Nathan Dante. Check out the website, elsv.net. Check out the shop, elsv.net/shop. I will link all of that stuff below. Check out my playlist on Apple Music. I will have my, favorite music playlist linked down below. What else? I will get this Patreon started. Check out my gaming channel because that's something I just picked up. Streaming myself playing games because a lot of people are streaming themselves playing games, and I just figured and realized like I could have been doing this for years. But yeah, I'm currently playing Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil, mm, one of my favorite franchises, and I'm happy to finally be playing Resident Evil Village. I was trying to hold out on purchasing the game because it seems like they dropped an unfinished product, but it went on sale, so I purchased it and I'm starting it recent. I just started it, so check me out on my gaming channel, which I will link down below, and you can see me play Resident Evil Village, as well as some other games. I did start my little Twitch channel, so if you want to watch me play games, check me out on Twitch, twitch.com or Twitch TV, whatever the website is, twitch dot whatever slash ELSVNate. Yeah, and I try to keep up with my streaming daily because you got to do a certain number of shit to in order to make it on their platform. So I'm trying to be consistent with that as well. So bear with me while we make this creative shit work. And for the merch, yeah, I will link this down below if you want to get you one of these. I got some other designs on the website. If you want me to create a design for you, feel free to submit a request for that. It's all on the website.